The history of cheese.
Hey guys, today's
Hello.
topic's all about humanity's greatest achievement.
Cheese! Why is cheese so fucking
And
good?
unless you're lactose intolerant through genetic inferiority, there's really nothing like a good slice of cheese to brighten up your day. It comes in all kinds of flavors and textures too, like smooth, salty, and absolute garbage. But have you ever asked yourself,
True.
what is cheese? As appetizing
Milk.
as it sounds, cheese is just curdled milk. But which milk? Any milk, really, assuming that you have a healthy and legal supply.
Well, you can have
and once you
whale
have your fresh,
cheese?
delicious, hair-free milk, just let it outright spoil. No way, you say, but yes way. Curds and whey. Curds are the gross little floating pieces at the top, and whey is the milk sweat that's left behind. Add in some flavors to your curds, and voila, you have cheese. Of course, someone will say that the process is a little bit more complicated than that, and they'd be right, but this is a history video, so that begs the question, where did cheese even come from? Cheese is one of those inventions that was made by accident, like potato chips, Post-its, and you. According to official historic cheese lore, a merchant in ancient
out of
Europe
nowhere!
or Asia or somewhere in this area
That was fucked
stored
up.
milk for his travels in the best container he had at the time, a sheep's stomach. After a day of
Ugh.
traveling in a hot desert, something magical happened. Good golly, am I thirsty, says the merchant, wiping sweat off of his brow. I can't wait to tear into this hot, delicious, refreshing milk.
Ew!
The merchant found that in addition to drinking his milk, which was now suspiciously salty,
maybe I
there were
don't
also
want
some
these.
chunks to chew on as a snack, ruining the need for his provisions of Oreos. It turns out that the
Sorry.
sheep's stomach contained rennet, an enzyme that delicately convinced the milk to change from a liquid to a solid. Word of this marvelous chewy milk spread far and wide, making cheese more
Why does he have to-
popular than Jesus, who wouldn't exist for thousands of
Ugh.
years. Earliest known evidence of cheese making dates back over 8,000 years in what is now Switzerland. I know, the Swiss making cheese, big shocker, right? But more evidence has been found all across the world, from the country of Africa to the continent of Italy.
Gagging
Since
is
food
wild. That's
preservation
fucking
techniques back
gross,
then were
though!
nothing more than just salting and drying,
Dude, my-
cheeses were often
this
salty
one bun is
and
not
dry.
staying
It would
up.
be a long while before
I gotta
cheeses that
fix
we
this
know
shit.
would start popping up. Cheddar was invented around the
Cheddar!
1100s,
Cheddar was
Parmesan
invented in the
1597,
1100s.
and Gouda a century later. In today's world, there are over 2,000 types of cheese, ranging from white American cheese to edible. Some
cheddar
countries
cheese.
even formed cheese boards, which provides a sort of patent on their cheeses, basically saying, hey,
Cheese
this
boards.
is my cheese. You can make your own. Just like how champagne can't really be called champagne unless it's from the Champagne region in France, Parmesan or Parmigiano Reggiano can't be called as such unless it's from that particular region in Italy. Lucky for me, I can just pick it up at my local grocery store. Checkmate, Italy.
that true?
All cheese types can be
Parmesan's
categorized
my
into a
favorite
basic
cheese. I
system,
fucking love
organizing them
Parmesan
based
cheese.
on their moisture content, like some kind of moist meter. First up, you have your fresh cheeses. These are your sloppiest mega wet cheeses like ricotta and mozzarella. Really good for making a nice calzone or some fresh Italian boba tea. Next up are the
Ew!
soft cheeses
What the
like brie
fuck was
and
that?
Camembert.
Why is there
These
so much
cheeses are
nasty
generally
stuff
smooth
in
and
this
creamy and are
video?
good as spreads on like bread and
Ew.
stuff. Third
What
are
was
the
that?
semi-soft cheeses like provolone
Semi-soft
and Munster,
cheese.
which aren't as soft
I
as the
like
soft
those.
cheeses, otherwise they would be
I
classified as
love
soft cheeses.
provolone and Munster
These are good for
cheese.
some good-ass sandwich making. Fourth,
Yeah.
we have the semi-firm cheese, or as I like to call them,
Half.
here you can
Ah!
find cheddar, Gouda,
Cheddar.
or Gruyere. Great
I
for
like all
charcuterie
these.
parties and Lunchables for the kiddos. Finally, we have the fully erect hard cheeses like Parmesan and Asiago.
I love
For
Parmesan
harassing
cheese.
your local Italian restaurant waitress, this grade is great for grading, and are typically your most flavorful cheeses as well as the most pungent. Just like gamers, the
the-
smellier it
Ew!
is, the better it is.
This is so messy, it almost looks like an AI photo. What is that? At least, like, they have, like, creative hobbies. They're drawing some manga. I'm sorry, I just find these pictures so interesting. It's like a Where's Waldo, but you don't even know what you're looking for. It's just all horrifying.
It should be said that there is also a category of blue cheeses for distinguished people who love the complex, bold, and sour flavors of actual mold. No matter the type of cheese you choose, culinary nerds will always tell you that you're not pairing it with the right complimentary food or drink in order to earn your first-class ticket to Flavortown. Look, if I want to shove a handful of shredded mozzarella down my throat at 2 in the morning, then let me.
I love doing
Recommend
that!
to me that I wash it down with a 2012 Sauvignon Blanc, because I did that. But it was a beer.
It's so good.
Nowadays, cheese is still enjoyed as a staple of modern cuisine all across the world, but mainly in France where it is typically served sliced with fruit or bread after a main course. In the cultural hub that is the United States, we serve it as an appetizer, sliced in a sort of stick shape where
Deep fried.
it is then breaded and fried, providing key nutrients for us to grow big and strong. Remember that no matter how you slice it, cheese is a delicious addition to any meal.
Ew!
So feel free to eat it to your heart's
What is
content,
wrong with him?
until it fails from all of the excess sodium.
Meow, 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 meow.
There's nothing more embarrassing.